WMAF.
No.
No. Can you move your legs? White male. You can fill in the rest.
The best thing about coffee is that it wakes you up. The worst thing is like going to the restroom, but that like having the feeling of needing to use the restroom, but then not actually having anything to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't drank coffee in years now.
Interesting.
Can't do it.
Well, maybe you should start because.
What do you mean? I'm wide awake. I drank a lot of matcha this morning.
Wide awake?
The heck?
Just kidding.
What the heck?
I just need a can of Monster Zero.
Does that have the same?
No, my favorite thing dude, I used to first and second year of med school, I used to drink a Red Bull every morning.
God dang. What the heck?
Damn.
I think it was like the combination.
Damn.
It was a combination of like the fizziness, and I love the flavor and the caffeine, obviously.
Yeah, have you had Monster Zero?
No,
I don't like Red Bull
wait,
that
the
much.
one in the white.
The white
can.
That one is fire.
that one's bomb.
This can of Monster
That
White
gets
Zero
me
in my fridge.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but
I don't drink it, but
all the vending machines run out of it so fast at
really?
my
All the kids
school.
are trying.
Yeah. And then the one that I started going to is cash only now. Who carries cash on them?
in New York, you
cash
need to have
Really?
cash.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Guess I gotta go.
Yeah.
To
I just
an
need to
ATM.
start carrying cash on me more often,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense because we can definitely live in a society where we don't need to have cash.
Yeah.
Like
It's already
bouncers,
getting
if like
to
you
LA.
want to pay cover at a club, just use Venmo.
Yeah.
I've seen that in LA where like clubs are just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Check
like
via Venmo. Oh,
co-check,
love it.
like cover all via Venmo. And I'm like, oh, this is sick. I don't have to like pull out cash. But some clubs like in New York, they still require
always
cash.
cash. Yeah. It's
Dang.
the woke
I don't know why. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
under the table. Don't have to report earnings.
What if your phone's dead?
You don't even need to report.
Actually, don't really know why.
You don't need to report Venmo earnings either. I mean, maybe you should, but I
I'm
guess
pretty
cash
sure
is
you
the,
do need to
the least trackable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pull some shady business dealings? You do it in
Dang,
cash.
maybe I should be doing things more in cash.
Dude.
I saw that. I saw that the IRS is like going after people who are doing business transactions on Venmo, like small businesses.
Yeah.
Which
Dang.
also like this is
Why
so
small
dumb. Like, why
businesses?
are you
Yeah.
going after small businesses who are like not really trying to evade tax?
Yeah.
And like you're not earning the government that much money, where you
Yeah.
could like be making billions of dollars off major corporations who just like spend, but then like they spend a lot of money on like hiring people
Good
to find
accountants.
those. Yeah.
Investigations. Yeah.
I understand why the IRS doesn't go after them because it's like a
They're
lot
probably big
harder
enough.
to go after them. But like it's still just so messed up. Anyways, let's check in. What's up, everybody? This is your host Jesse from the Rooftop Pod, and we are running another episode today.
Good.
Yeah. And I'm here today with my sister
Rachel.
and my brother
Andrew.
We are going to be talking about last night. Andrew was going through my DMs,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, Andrew.
Oh.
I was like, Andrew, why are you going through my
That was so
DMs? And
funny.
I was like, okay,
Why are
while
you
you're in
doing
there, you
that?
might as well
Yeah.
help
Critique?
me help me respond to some of them because
Oh.
a lot of the
Riz.
DMs that I get are like essays, like just responding.
Oh,
to, like,
right. I did want to see some of those.
a
DMs.
lot of my
ChatGPT.
well, yeah, that's still effort though because you have to like type in a
Yeah,
prompt.
copy paste. Yeah,
No,
you-
just say respond to this. Copy paste.
They should integrate ChatGPT into Instagram DMs because then I don't have to respond. I
Just
do.
Just
kidding.
know
I
that
like
if you're getting response from Jesse, it's a personalized.
It's a
chat
robot.
GPT.
everyone who has gotten a response from me is like me like writing them out because a lot of them are like really heartwarming messages
No,
I get,
man,
and
I
I
wanna see
want to
some of them.
respond to all of them, but it's just
There's too many.
There's too
Yeah.
many,
Yeah.
and
So popular.
but- no, no, I'm not that popular. But anyways, the secondary or ulterior motive that Andrew was going through my DMs was I'll let you actually. Rachel, what do you think? Why do you think Andrew was going through my DMs?
I thought that was
I'll let
so
you guess.
funny. Yeah.
Rachel,
I'm scared.
just
It's not
It's
scary.
not
It's
scary.
just funny.
why are you so scared of us,
I don't
Rachel?
know because men are scary. I feel like there's
I don't
always
really
like people talk about things where they're like, oh, there's like a list there. So I don't know if you guys are on the female side of TikTok, right? But there's
Okay.
one girl with a list of reasons why not to get pregnant, and there's another girl with a list of reasons why not to date men. They're both
Are they
incredibly
overlapping?
long.
Okay.
No, they're two different people with two
Okay.
different lists.
Okay.
Yeah, and so like every time, so basically how
give us
the
an
list
example.
works
Yeah.
is that well, one of the examples from the girl with the no pregnancy list. So basically they'll stitch videos of people talking about their experiences like after pregnancy. So one of them was
okay.
like, oh, your nose becomes a lot bigger.
What?
I've heard
when
that.
you-
Yeah.
yeah,
I've seen
become
that on
pregnant.
TikTok.
Yeah. And then so
Huh?
then it'll be the girl talking about her experience of her nose getting bigger, and then it's stitched by the girl with the list, and then so the list comes up, she scrolls all the way to the bottom and then types it out. And then so that's the same concept for the girl with the list of like why not to
So
date
it's like
men.
a crowdsourced
Yeah.
list of
Yeah.
TikTok
And then
reasons.
so some of the ones
So funny. Actually.
I can't talk about that one. I'm thinking of examples, but I mean, there's a lot of examples of like guys being like shit in like relationships with girls, right?
Yes, yeah.
And so like it'll scroll down, but like it's just like guys being dudes. And I think one of the things that I've heard about, I haven't personally experienced this because I don't have that many guy friends, is that like guys like there are certain guys that truly only view women as objects, and like they talk about women that way, and it's like not really treating women as their own human being with feelings who can think critically. So yeah, that's why I say men are scary. So like when you guys talk about this, I'm like, is this gonna be
No,
like
this is the
venturing
other
into
way
scary
around.
territory?
It's women treating men like
Oh, brother.
not really. Kind of
Not-
actually.
No, not really.
Not really. No, not at all. So
Anyways, but I remember because I asked, because you guys have been sending me a lot of screenshots of people like
the DMs that we get.
yeah, or like specifically addressed towards me, but I don't
Oh,
have social
yeah.
media, so then you guys send it to me.
Yes, yes.
And then I was like to you, I was like, oh, just send me like the login info so I can
Go through it.
go through them. And then he sent me his Instagram login info.
Yeah.
I logged in. I looked at the DMs. I went, get me out.
Get me out of here.
This is a scary place.
I don't like it.
Because I wasn't expecting so many of them to be like slides, you
yeah,
know?
they're mostly.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna go in. I don't know
All
why I
wholesome.
thought this.
No,
And
a
like
lot
be
of
able
them
to
are
find
wholesome.
ones that were like that addressed me in it, so I could respond to them. And then most of them were not like that. And I said, "Oh no! Oh no! 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 I'm uncomfortable."
Most of them, which the ones that the ones I find most interesting are the ones that start off super wholesome, and they're like, "Oh, I love your videos. Like, I
Yeah.
relate to this a lot." And then all of a sudden at the end is like, "Hey, by the way, like, you want to go
You're
on a
kinda
date?"
cute.
Yeah, something like that. I'm like, I see what you did there. The bait and switch.
Hey, but
yeah,
I still appreciate people shooting their shots.
I do too. Yeah,
I
I
appreciate
respect
especially
that a lot,
women. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But usually if I see something like that, I usually scroll past it. And I don't respond to those. I usually respond to those who like want to talk to me about the content of my video. Yeah.
That's fair. Anyways, back to
Oh, yeah.
Oh
what I
yeah.
thought. Wait, okay. So I like saw. Were you looking
Huh?
for things that would toot your horn?
No.
Okay.
No.
So basically Andrew was looking for DMs that or people that DM'd me but also DM'd him.
Oh, like the
I
overlap.
was just like,
Yeah.
who
Oh,
are
that's
these overlapping
interesting,
people? I was
yeah.
just
I was-
curious.
Andrew was like
Yeah, that
scrolling
would've
through
been-
so
yeah.
intently. I was like, "What are you looking for?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I found a couple people that DM both of us," and I was like,
Because I saw-
That's
interesting.
Because I was
Interesting.
looking at the wholesome messages. Because I
Yeah.
wanted to read some of the
Yes.
people's input on
You
our
have
podcast.
eyelash on your cheek.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to see some of the wholesome messages that
Yes.
Jesse's been getting. And then I was like, oh, this person looks familiar. And I'm like,
you go through your phone, and you're like,
this person also looks familiar. And then I pulled up my phone. I'm like, so how many of these people are both of our DMs?
That's funny.
And I thought that was funny.
and that, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, does this lead into our next question?
Yeah.
Okay. So this led me to the question of, because the way I see it, it's really weird. Jesse and I are only 2 years apart.
Yes.
So we are pretty close in age, but
And
growing
we look
up,
similar.
and we look similar,
'Cause we're
but
brothers.
we've never
Ish.
gone after the same girl, and the same girl has never gone after either of us
that
until
would be weird if
It-
that
that
would
would-
happen.
exactly. So it never really crossed my mind until I saw the parallel DMs.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, we're
Were there a lot of them?
a handful. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's bound
yeah.
to happen. 'cause
It's, yeah,
Right.
exactly.
we're in the same space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait, do
but
you
they
think
should know
they
that we're brothers?
Yeah, do you think they messaged both of you knowing that you guys were
Yeah,
related?
they had to
It's
have known that like we would
yeah.
Yeah.
eventually.
Like, do you
I don't
think
know how they see that
do you
playing out in
think
their mind.
they like went onto your profile, saw Jesse, oh, let me DM Jesse, then saw like tagged in a photo, also Andrew.
Andrew,
Oh,
like,
let me
oh, let me
also
try this
DM
too.
Andrew. Or do you think
Maybe
it was
they
on
won't
two
notice.
separate occasions? Did you check the dates?
Oh, I didn't check
Oh,
the time.
no.
No.
Okay.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
See, that's why. I
Like,
was
did they even know what they were doing?
Yeah.
Mm.
Were they
Interesting.
aware?
I don't know.
But yeah, so that got me thinking. I was like, would you be put off if like, say you're dating someone, but then they're like, oh yeah, I also used to find your brother attractive.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Would that be weird? I honestly
Yeah.
think like objectively it makes sense because we look similar. We've
guess.
got kind of similar. I mean, we're very different people, but
Yeah.
I'm
that's what
just
I
like
thought.
I
Yeah,
think
or I
Andrew's an
think.
attractive person, so
thanks,
I'm like
man.
not gonna be.
Pretty cute too.
I'm not gonna be pressed if someone that
Yeah.
I'm dating also found Andrew attractive.
Okay.
It would be weird if they actively like pursue
Talked
both of us
about
at the
it.
same time,
Oh.
kinda
or
weird.
talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I've never got that sense from anyone I've ever been with. They've never been like, "Oh yeah, like your brother's super attractive." I think if
Why would they say
vocalize
that to
it,
you,
would-
though?
That's true.
Yeah.
You're right. In fact, most of them are like actively said like, "Oh, I don't think Andrew's that attractive."
Cool. Yeah. You know, that's. I
Has
was gonna say a
anyone-
compliment to you, Jesse, but now
Oh, no, I didn't say
whatever.
this, though.
Because I'm like, damn. Some of my friends have said that you're attractive, but now I'm not gonna say that. I take that
Taking
back.
it back.
Take what my friends say back.
Yeah. Oh, but like I wouldn't find that weird, but it just depends on how it plays out. Like I don't know. What if in this scenario, like you're dating someone, like you're actively in like in deep, like
Yeah.
at least a few months with this girl,
Yeah.
and then like 4 or 5 months into the relationship, I find a DM from that person that
Same
you're
girl.
dating.
But it was before we started
It was
talking.
before you guys started talking. And she had
Yeah.
also DM'd me.
Yeah.
How would you feel about that?
This is strangely something that could probably happen. Let's see.
I could also. I mean,
That's
I could
so
also see
interesting.
this
Yeah.
happening to
if
me too.
it's before we started talking,
Yeah.
I'll look. If I'm already like 4 or 5 months deep,
Yeah.
like that relationship should have matured enough
Mm-hmm.
that that's in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But
Especially if you guys are compatible, I don't see that
Exactly.
person being compatible with Jesse
Exactly,
too, because
exactly.
you guys
Yes.
are so different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Someone who's compatible with me would definitely not be compatible with Andrew.
Yeah.
and vice versa,
Yeah.
and vice
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah.
So like before that person knew either of us, because yes, surface level, sure, we
Yeah.
might come off
Mm-hmm.
similarly, but if that DM was sent, like, okay, I'd no, it'd have to be before like we went on, I think, any dates, because I think even after like 2-3 dates, like
Oh.
it's still kind of weird. Maybe
No, it'd be
it's early
Because
enough.
then
super
they
weird.
would know
Exactly.
about Jesse
Exactly. They
too.
would
Yes.
already,
Yeah.
and so it'd have to be completely
And they're like,
before we
oh,
even start talking.
let me
Yo.
shoot my shot
Let me
at
just
his
shoot your shot.
brother,
Exactly.
too.
So it'd have
No,
to
that's
be-
super strange. But
Yeah,
what
that'd be
if?
super weird.
Okay, what if? I have to play the scenario backwards. What
okay.
if someone was dating me or going on dates with me just
Oh.
to get with you? They're just like weird about it. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, like, can I meet your brother sometime? Or like, can I like, I don't know, do you want to hang out with your? I'd be like, okay, that's super weird. But what
Yeah.
if they liked
thing.
you and you found them super attractive? Would you entertain that?
Oh wow, these are so intricate scenarios.
These theoretical.
Like they got to you through me.
Oh, interesting.
This kind of ish
That's kinda
happened.
slimy.
Remember?
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I don't know.
But you were like not interested
No,
at
I
all.
was not interested at all.
I also was not interested. But
Yeah.
like they were trying to get to you through me.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, I also find that kind of weird.
Kinda weird, right?
I mean, if you were just like objectively like, I don't like this girl at all.
Okay. But if I had liked this girl.
I mean, I don't love how that girl's approach to it. I think a little bit of character comes out by the approach of how
Yeah.
that's played out.
Yeah.
Because if she liked me, why would she try to
Go
finesse
through
it through you?
Yeah. Without
Just be
making the
direct.
tensions
Yeah.
clear from the beginning.
I don't know. Seems kind of not sleazy, but like
Seems a
is a
little
deceptive.
snaky.
Yeah.
Low fox.
Wow. That's a yes.
Interesting
Yeah.
questions.
Wow. Crazy scenarios.
Crazy
Yeah.
scenarios. Would you ever date one of Rachel's friends?
No. Well,
Rachel, would you ever let that
Let's see.
happen?
because I was like anyone Rachel's age.
Okay,
That's essentially
no,
how I
like Rachel has friends
But
who are older
Rachel-
than her.
I do.
So say
have to-
you have a friend who's like 2 or 3 years older, like basically Andrew's age.
It has to be exactly if they're around my age.
Yeah.
I think you have to be not that close with them. I feel like
yeah,
you
would you
can't.
date one of Rachel? Okay,
Right, I
don't-
mean, right now, no.
no, because
Yeah.
pretend
know
like you
it.
don't know
Different
any
stage
Exactly.
of
Rachel.
life. Yeah. Wait.
So I'm
Close
like,
friends.
What if Rachel became friends with someone who's super dope, close to my age, incompatible? Maybe.
Interesting.
It depends. Yeah.
Interesting. The thing is, like, I don't know if I would ever. This might be a little mean. I don't know if I would ever be friends with someone that you would date, though. You know,
What's that supposed to be?
like, I don't know. I kind of like friends with a
God
little
damn.
bit of edge. You know what I mean?
Oh, Andrew's scared of
Okay.
edgy girls. That's
Ah.
true.
Yeah.
Andrew needs
like-
like someone who's really nice.
Like someone who's really
Just, like-
nice and sweet, and
Yeah,
like,
no,
Yeah,
that's,
I
that's
don't
usually
think-
the type of girls I go
Rachel's-
for.
yeah,
I mean, my
Rachel's
friends are
definitely-
edgy, but the person
that's
I
true.
date,
You
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And-
don't think I've ever been super super close with someone who's just like really wholesome and sweet.
Hmm.
Yeah, I do like people that
Yeah.
fit that. Yeah. Nah,
Interesting. That's because that's like
that's true.
as much as
That's fair. That's fair.
I would like to say I don't want to date people who are like more edgy and aggressive. I feel like the people that I end up falling for
Dang, you
are
do end up
typically
with
like the
people who
more
are- Wow, we do go after edge,
A little more
complete opposite.
stubborn.
a little more
Like,
stubborn, edgy, and like
firm in
aggressive.
their- yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like
super interesting.
people
huh?
who are I'm trying to find a good way to verbalize my like
Your type,
not
yeah.
my type, because I think I want to change my ways and date people who are just nicer. But the
That's what
people
I'm
that I
people
tend to
who
fall for,
challenge you.
yeah, the
I mean,
people
no, you can be sweet and
I just
also
have
like
butt heads a lot with the people I've dated, and like that's been a trend for me. And I don't know why, because I can't.
Interesting.
Not that I like to argue, but it can come to a point where it's toxic and like the intellectual challenge becomes just arguments.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like having someone that like sharpens me in some way. Not someone who's just like passively there and just like
I don't like that
taking-
either.
No, but like I like to. I don't want to say I like to argue, but I like to like
I mean, okay,
have
maybe not argue, but
impassioned or passionate, spirited discussions. I feel like
Okay.
only a certain type of person
Spirited
has those kind of.
discussions. Yeah, not pushovers.
qualities. Yes, I don't like
Mm.
pushovers.
that's fair.
Rachel, would you say you have a type?
So the problem is,
I don't like anybody.
yeah, I've never really been like super
Yeah,
attracted to anyone.
That's true.
No,
Not
but I'd say
male.
I'd say I'm similar to you, where like I like having like very like discussions that pick at my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that's hard to find.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
But like different people have different interests, so like
Mhm.
you may be able to have a discussion that like picks your brain with like a different kind of person, a
Mhm.
different topic, but like
Yes,
specifically with the
definitely.
things that I'm interested in, like
Mhm.
want to learn more about, I guess.
Yeah. The thing is for me, like when you there's a fine line when you start challenge, because like whenever I have conversations and I challenge someone, it can often be taken personally, and that's kind of a tough, because like some people can't distinguish a challenge that's like an intellectual challenge between that and like a personal challenge
Yeah.
or critique,
Mm-hmm.
because like
Mm.
you need to be able to understand. At least maybe the problem is I'm not communicating it effectively.
No, I think I understand. I actually I've been on TikTok a lot recently, I guess.
Yeah, you know, a lot of TikToks.
Yeah, I'm referencing a lot of. I gotta like pull up my works cited next time. But there was like, I think a lot of girls sometimes get peeved when guys like challenge them or like doubt if they're actually like what they're saying is true.
Okay.
Because it feels a little misogynistic, as in like, oh, so you don't believe what I'm saying because I'm a woman, or like because they trust in them a little less. Like
The trust isn't
they
there.
see they think that if it were a guy that said the same thing that they did, that their partner like would have taken it
would
as
agree,
true.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think that's like another issue that comes in, especially like with
Yes, I
being
challenge all
female,
my friends,
yeah.
so It's a consistent.
Yeah. Just I don't know,
Challenging that,
consideration to make, because I think a lot of the times like girls do feel like that, like what they say is being undermined somehow,
invalidated.
in some situations.
Or gaslitten.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something else.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to specify or clarify some things. It's not that I don't want lively discussion with my hypothetical partner either. But I will say, I was reflecting back at my last relationship. I think we can keep this in here. But we never fought, as opposed to...
some people have that just in their relationship. I've met plenty of people who are just like, I've never fought with them.
Yeah.
But
like, conversation has
gone...
well, I was not frustrated. I love that. It was... But, like, I don't know. We, like... I think maybe the distance actually did help in this regard, where we could take a breather really easily and then come back and actually have... Because, like, if things got tense, we were like, hey, let's, like, table this conversation and then come back to it.
That
worked out really well.
When I used to do that, you tabled the discussion, but that led to the other person brewing and steeping in this like resentment.
Yeah.
And then it just came back and just bit so much harder. So it's not healthy. I was not.
Yeah, that was not a good spot for you.
Anyways, we don't have to... it's the same day.
We're wearing the same thing.
Wow.
Gotcha.
I've been wearing the same thing 3 episodes in a row. What?
3 episodes.
Yeah, I wore it last night too.
Rachel, do you not own any other clothes?
I didn't bring any clothes home because I thought we were only
I didn't
gonna
either.
sit
I
for a day.
brought 0 outfits because I brought my laundry. I was just like, I'm just gonna wear whatever comes out of the laundry.
I brought my laundry too, but it was on my bedding.
Yeah.
I did all my real laundry before I came here, so not my real laundry, but like my clothing laundry.
Okay, say we're both attracted to the same girl.
I'm about to bring up
Again.
the same situation.
Yeah.
That's the one that was running through my mind. What do we
Would
do?
you? And we both had like. Actually, it doesn't matter. In that situation, it's like it's the girl's.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
Yeah.
But like
back. Well,
I
this
guess
would be a
how would
situation
you guys-
of like,
approach it. Yeah.
yeah. Because
someone's-
what if the girl?
Would you guys be competing to like woo this girl? Or
Yeah.
Like,
Because like, say we go out to I don't know, dinner, club, night out or something.
club.
We meet somebody that joined our social circle. We both ended up talking to them, and we're both interested, and we have no idea what the other person thinks. Yeah, how would you approach this, Jesse? Because I have no idea.
I feel like Andrew would back down more easily. But I also wouldn't push. I wouldn't be aggressive about it. Like I usually don't pursue girls.
I mean,
I've
low-key
rarely done
honest.
that. Yeah. Usually the girls will express interest first, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, this is.
We all
I don't
live
have
the
to play the
same life.
guessing
Hey, I'm gonna be straight up. We got no game.
You might not.
I got no
no,
biz.
I'm saying like we don't approach anybody.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that you guys don't approach.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think one of my biggest fear of approaching someone is like coming off as creepy.
or uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And
I don't want to
hate
make people
that.
feel uncomfortable. Yeah, so
Because
I'm just like, I don't want to approach you because I don't want you to think I'm a creepy person.
Yeah.
Like circling. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's also like, from my experiences, like going out with my friends who are girls, if there is a guy that approaches, we all make them.
Like if you have
That's
no
what I'm saying,
reason
yeah.
to come up to them, like it's
Yeah.
gonna like for me, I've seen it enough times where I'm like, yeah, there's no way to make this natural and like seem like you're not a creep.
Yeah.
I mean, some girls are more open and receptive to that, but from my third party point of view, regardless of whether how the girl like responds to it, it'll always be creepy to me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
I'd
that's
agree.
the thing.
The only people who can get away with that are like extraordinarily attractive people, because like everyone's just gonna be like, okay, yeah, you can do whatever you want. You're just-
Pretty privilege. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, going back to an earlier conversation that Rachel said, we talked about what's the best way to approach a girl, and Rachel's response was, "I just don't want to be reproached."
Yes.
But a lot of my girlfriends also say the same thing, which is why I'm just like, there's no good way to do this, so
Yeah,
I'm not
so I'm
going to
just
do
not gonna
this.
do it.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna vibe.
Just gonna, which ends up being a much more fun night.
Dude, I
most
mean,
of the, time, I feel
the
like.
nights. I mean, when you go out, your objective should never be to
No.
like meet strangers for the intent. It's just not a good environment to meet like people for relationships. It's like it's
different.
If
every
that's
time
what
I
you're
go,
looking
it's
for,
just
yeah.
like it's like to hang out with your friends.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I like going out.
Okay, Jesse. I get it. If there's
Um,
anything you should know about Jesse, is that he likes going out.
I think it's a phase right now that I'm going through.
Mm.
Because I've been in a phase where I prefer not to go out.
Really? What was that?
Well,
phase?
like
When
in a
was that?
relationship.
Oh.
It's just like whenever you're in a
Right,
relationship, it's
yeah.
just like the motivation to go out is just not there.
Yeah, that's true.
And you say going out is to hang out with your friends.
Because then
Yeah, I'm kidding,
because
I'm
you're
kidding,
like
I'm
I'd
kidding.
rather hang out with my
Yeah.
significant other than my
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah,
Because
that's
like
fair.
that in those moments you're like, oh, it's more fun to hang out with
Yeah.
my significant
Yeah.
other than friends. But I don't know. There's still definitely occasions where
I still went out. Well, I had a COVID relationship, so just no
You can't
opportunity
go
to go
out,
out.
yeah.
no, I mean I still went out.
Yeah.
It's just like there's always the pressure to go back home.
Yeah, no, it helps that we're not in the same city. I think about this sometimes. I'm like, I think when we eventually like settle down in the same area,
But by
Well-
that point, do you think you'll already have
exactly, we'll already have
Yeah.
probably significant others and families by the time my driver's license expires, essentially.
What if
Okay, think about it and then.
okay, the question is,
Okay.
this is all hypothetical, so
Yeah.
obviously don't use real life people to think about
Okay.
this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But would you ever date someone that I've dated?
Oh, that's interesting. No. It's,
Okay.
I know this is no.
Okay.
Because this is
that
the
just
same
too
with
weird
my
to you?
exactly. It's the same with, again, like purely hypothetical, but because you're in the same bucket as my like close guy friends, if they ever split with their current girlfriends, like that person.
What if it was like a clean break and there was like no hard feelings?
Still no.
Okay.
Yeah, no. It people will be placed in like categorized in buckets in my mind, and I think once
Okay.
they either date you or really close friends, it's just kind of off limits for life. To be honest,
Okay.
like we might be able to be homies still, if I develop like a friendship outside of that relationship, and it was a clean break. But no,
Okay.
once
Have you
it's
ever
categorized,
become
yeah.
friends with each other's significant others?
Nope.
Nope. Oh yeah, it's kind of weird.
I
Yeah.
mean, we've dated one person.
Oh, that is a good question though. Like, even though it's never happened between us, how important do you think it is that your siblings get along with your partner?
Important.
Yeah.
At least for me, very important.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
would you actively introduce them to us and like make sure we hang out and like have our own like develop our own friendship, or would you just be
Oh.
okay with us just like being friends in the context of you dating them? Or would you want us to develop our separate relationship?
That's a good question. This is not something that I've thought about. I guess I just thought that like if I were to like someone, that would mean that they would probably get along with you guys pretty well as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
And
Okay.
so like I wouldn't try to push you guys hanging out, but I would imagine that you guys like naturally would just get along pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't think any of the people that Andrew and I have dated, you guys have actively been like, oh, wow, this person's like amazing and we love them and we want to like hang out with them.
I think for me, at
Like-
least with your ex, is the age
Hypotheticals, yeah.
difference. Yeah.
Oh, true.
true.
But
That's
I
also
feel
true.
like you get along with people my age though. If
Do
you guys
I?
have, if you have
Get
like
along with
similar
my friends.
interests,
Yeah, similar
Yeah.
interests. Oh, well, you just have cool friends.
I know it's true. I really do.
And
about
she
my
just has really
friends.
cool friends.
It's true.
Your friends are old.
I
Not to
know.
be ageist or anything. No, I'm just kidding. No, but it is like a different. Like I don't have. I don't have as many like similar. Also, you don't have that many like close female friends. I feel like Andrew has a lot of close female friends that I've gotten
also
along
true.
with.
Yeah.
Or
You
like
just haven't
I'm mainly
met a lot
speaking
of
of.
my close female friends. I feel like you would get along with Julia really well.
Yeah.
Jules,
I could see that
she,
too.
you and her are like very similar in a lot of ways, but you haven't hung out with her.
I see.
Yeah, trying to think who else. I guess I don't know. But yeah, I feel like it is. I think maybe this was a new revelation to me because before I was like, I don't really care what Andrew and Rachel think. Like, as long as they don't hate them, you know,
fair.
like the bar was really low. But I think now my bar is really high in terms of like your view on this person. Like, you guys have to love this person in order for me to be like, oh, this can go long term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually,
That's fair.
I agree with that one. But I think I would start trying to, because my relationship, I don't think it got to the point where it got super serious enough for me to really try to like encourage more integration between that person and our family. But I think, yeah, if the next relationship or whenever I find the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with is when that happens, I will really try to encourage more like time between just our family and her, me not in the situation. Well, I cannot articulate that.
When I envision my future in terms of like all the people I'm hanging out with, like 20, 30 years in the future, like I want to see like, oh, my wife, like just like go do a girls trip with you and like your friends and stuff. Like I want I want you guys to have like your own separate relationship that's really strong and like exists even in the absence of me. Because I think that's kind of what mom and dad have. It's like dad is like super close with our mom's sister and brother, so sisters and brother. So like I want that kind of future for us as well, where like you guys basically accept them as like your own family.
I think like it's different when you're just dating someone though, like not to have that expectation. Like I feel like that relationship can develop after there's like a longer term commitment that's made.
Yeah, but there has to be a sort of compatibility from the start.
Right.
Yeah. Where like at least your like ideals and objectives in lives align in like at least somewhat similarly. Or else there's going to be a compatibility issue.
Right.
So yeah, my idea is that from now on, I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to do that because it's like you don't know a person until you actually get to spend a lot of time with them. Right. And I feel like usually when you start dating someone, it's like you're not going to invite them to hang out with your siblings all the time. So the person who gets the most experience with that person is the person who's dating them, right? So it's hard for you guys to have a really strong opinion on that person until you get to spend a lot of time with them. That usually happens way later in a relationship. So how can we like screen early?
Just have an interview panel.
Yeah. So date number 3, my brother and my sister are coming.
And
we have a list of questions
on hand.
Bring a cover letter. Required, actually. Portfolio.
Just because I think that is like when I envision my future, that's a huge part of how I see that picture being drawn out. Is that it's like a seamless integration. Yeah.
I feel like, so at least for me, I feel like this, articulating things. That's situation where like wanting the desire to like have your significant other or like be friends with people that you're close to is kind of like, so my friend Annie, she loves like introducing her friends to each other because she's like, I love all my friends so much. I just want them all to be friends with each other. And so I've like been able to like very quickly click with a lot of her friends just because she always talks about them to me, and then she will also tell her friends about me. So it's like we already know a lot about each other, and then so when we first meet, it's like very easy. And so I feel like if you guys had significant others and like you would tell me like good qualities about these people, it would be a lot easier for me to get along with them.
Okay.
Write that down.
But I don't know, it's just a sign of like also like I can tell that they make you happy if you're like wanting to talk about them.
True.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I guess
that's true.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I will do that if it ever happens.
Oh, brother.
That's true.
In Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm not in a stage in my life where I'm looking for that. Like I'm not actively looking for that forever person.
Same.
Like if it like just like unexpectedly shows up, I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm not in the stage right now. But if it like my expectations of that happening are super low right now.
Right.
So.
That's fair.
And I think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe not to Ye and Nai, but yeah. I'm just kidding.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
our
tough.
parents want
That's tough.
grandchildren.
bad.
Our
But it's-
grandparents want great
It's good
grandchildren.
because like if their motivation to stay alive is to see their great
That's
grandchildren,
true. They're gonna be alive for a minute.
then like we should wait it out for as long as possible.
That's true.
Because if we love them, we don't want them to die.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
But it also, I do feel like a certain type of guilt of
Mm.
letting them down in a sense. If like, what if they do pass away before we have children and they never get to see our, like that's
can't
definitely a
control
possibility.
that,
I know
though.
we can't
Yeah.
control that, but I would actually feel a certain level of guilt just because our grandparents have like told us so many times like we want to see your
that, yeah.
children, we want to
Yeah.
see you become a family, like so bad, like please
Yeah.
bring your kids to come see us in China. And like right now I feel like I'm letting them down because it's like I'm nowhere close to that,
Yeah.
but they're always like, yeah, we want this to happen before we die, and I'm just like, oh, okay, like I can see if I can make that happen. But what if they do pass on and they never do? There is a sense of guilt that I'm like, oh, I didn't. Oh, first of all, I didn't get to introduce my kids to like my
Yeah.
grandparents who played a big role in my life,
Yeah.
but they also didn't get to see the next generation
Yeah.
that comes
I
from us.
think especially since dad is the only one from his side in America,
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah.
different.
We carry a
for-
different family
yeah.
line almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I think they're already satisfied to the point where our cousin Cong 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 and Lu Fang, they already have like kids.
Yeah.
I think at this point they're like, okay, we've seen like the
Great
next generation.
grandchildren, yeah.
They're
Yeah.
actively taking care of them, so like they're happy. But like I think because I'm the oldest child of the oldest of their
Child.
oldest child,
Yeah.
they really want to see my kids because it's symbolic
Yeah.
in some
Yeah.
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
That's crazy because I actually don't really feel that pressure,
Mhm.
honestly, and I think that's because I'm the second oldest. So
Yeah.
I actually, yeah, I don't think Ye and I put that pressure on me,
Yeah.
or at least not nearly the same as.
Yeah,
pressure they put on
I'm
you.
like kind of scared to. I love being on the phone with them, but like every single time we have a conversation, it always devolves into when are you having kids?
Where's your kids?
Yeah.
Where like, well,
Where
I'm
your
like,
kids
okay,
at?
Where
like
your
first
kids?
off, I
Where
don't
your
even
wife?
have like, a partner, so we
Yeah.
gotta figure that one out
Yeah.
first. But yeah, I think at this point they're just like they don't even care. They're just like just have kids with anyone. Just
It doesn't
have kids
matter.
to have
It
kids.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Um,
You can make anything work if you have kids.
yeah, it's but like in their generation, or I think
Yeah,
we were
I mean-
also talking about this last night where like
Man, I'm FOMO.
well you were just in here not
Yeah.
hang out with us.
Well, okay, let me in next time.
Or you can just come downstairs and hang out with us.
Yeah, weird.
But it is
Oh,
but
I thought you guys were in your room.
no,
No,
this
not for
was
this part.
just like downstairs in the on the dinner table.
Yeah.
So we were saying how like depending on your socioeconomic status, the lower you are, the more early you have kids. I think people higher up in the socioeconomic
Generally.
ladder
Yeah.
generally have kids a lot later. So for them, they think that we're having kids super late because like we're already mid to late 20 or mid 20s and at,
just mid-20s.
mid 20s and for them at that point like they were already worried about dad when he was in his late 20s and not having any kids.
Yeah,
And
but he was married at least.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was on track, but I think it was fast tracked because he was like, oh, my timeline is like I
That's
need to
true.
have a family and kids
That's
so
now.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
he
his
dated
little
mom
brother
for a while.
already had
Mhm.
a family and had kids.
Yep.
So he was like, oh, I'm behind. But like for me, I don't feel behind at all because we were raised at a much higher socioeconomic level compared to our family village that was like in poverty. So their pressure comes from a different background almost.
Yeah.
Yep.
Their
Yeah.
expectations come from a different background.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to reconcile the two because like it's super normal for me to not have kids until I'm like mid 30s, but for them it's
Right.
just like
What?
you might as well not have kids at that point,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Not really, but
Do you think about that, like being a young dad versus an older father?
Yeah, do you want to be a young dad or an old dad?
But the only
Our dad
reason
is
why-
both.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because I think if you take care of your body, like dad just turned
Oh, like
57,
being physically able to do
Exactly.
activities.
and
yeah.
John is still in
Yeah,
middle school.
dad will
Yeah.
still be very active and
Like, dad
still
will
Oh, yeah.
in
When we
his
go on
capable
hikes,
when-
he's
Exactly.
like zooming far
Yeah.
beyond us.
I guess
yeah.
it doesn't. Yeah, that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there
I
are
guess
some
it's-
dads in their 60s who aren't able to do that
Yeah,
with
exactly.
their kids.
Maybe like the
won't be me.
relatability aspect.
Mm.
I never felt like I was able to relate to that.
Yeah,
though.
to be honest.
Okay, but I feel like that more so stems
might-
from cultural differences than
Yeah.
it does like
Yes.
age related differences. That's weird.
Yeah, I think I would rather be an older dad though, because I think your level of mature. Well, I don't know if it's because our dad like had some reps and like got to practice being a dad, and by the time he was at his by the time he was at his like final, his like last 2 kids, he was like, oh okay, like
I know how to do.
I
this,
know
yeah.
what works
Yeah.
and what doesn't. I don't
just
necessarily need to be super
reassured, yeah.
strict, and
Yeah.
that worked out. Or if it's like a young versus old thing, because like maybe if I'm raising kids right now, I think I
You
would
would
be
also
pretty
be the same?
strict.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like to the level that dad was, but I don't think I would.
Do you think you'd have
Not-
more energy as a young parent to like discipline your child versus when you're older?
I don't think it's an energy thing. I think a lot of the like the beating storms came from frustration of like when you're a young man, you're still like trying to build the foundation of your career. You just don't have the bandwidth to really be really patient with your kids.
Yeah.
And I think that I would probably be at the same stage where I'm still like trying to figure out my career and like build my foundation. So like if I introduce a kid into that picture,
Residency. Oh my god.
yeah, like that my
geez,
patience level is
yeah.
already starting baseline pretty low.
Yeah.
And like if the kid acts out, my kid acts out, I wouldn't like abuse them, but I definitely snap quicker for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas now dad is like very comfortable in his
Mellow.
Yeah, and like he's just
so
super
chill.
calm and very patient with our little brothers. Even like to me, I'm just like, how are you letting them get it? Like me personally
For me
would not let them get away
personally.
with this,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he just lets them get away with so much.
Yeah.
now, and,
He like jokes about things too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Philip and John, I remember last night Philip was like playing the computer and my dad like told them like your time is up like for like 30 minutes straight, and Philip's like, oh no, like we didn't agree on anything. Like I would not have had the guts to say anything like that when I was a
Yeah.
kid. That would have just come after me with a stick. Like
Yeah.
when my time's up playing video games, my time's up. Like there's
Yeah.
no leeway for that. But
There's
for
no
Philip, there's like
negotiation. Yeah.
yeah, for Philip, it's just like, oh, like I know dad's soft. He's not going to do anything to me if I just stay on my computer.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that's a thing that comes with age, but also maybe experience.
Age
So
and
I
time,
think
I
I'd rather
yeah.
be the older dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's more so the time and like being more set in his career. Because back when dad was raising us, he was what, like a PhD?
He was a PhD student when he was
student.
raising me.
Yeah,
I
that's
think he's
crazy.
like-
He was a student living off like a TA salary.
He was
Yeah.
getting what, like $3 an hour is what he told
He
me.
said he
Yeah,
made
so-
$800 a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to feed 2 kids.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And a wife.
Yeah.
But things were cheaper back then.
Yeah, they're cheaper, but
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
also
even-
pay rent.
Yeah.
I think the rent was like $300 a month.
Yeah,
I remember
about
it was-
right. And
I mean, it was
Dang.
a really dinky little apartment. I remember it
Dinky.
still.
do you remember it?
Yeah, I still have memories of that apartment.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember walking
really
outside
dark,
of it, but I can't.
No sunlight.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
true.
That's so depressing.
Yeah, it was pretty
It
depressing
was-
how I remember it.
Dang.
Yeah.
But it had a nice, beautiful like front yard kind of thing.
That's
I
nice.
remember playing in the grass with like
All I remember is like
Tintin and
yeah.
Richard.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know
Yeah.
Dad would always like point out places
Tintin
when.
was someone else.
We-
Jing Jing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're out there, long lost childhood friends.
Come back.
I just
Baby,
I don't
come back.
remember his real name or his like English
English?
name.
Yeah.
I just remember Jing Jing. That's it. We were besties when we were like 4 or 5. TikTok, do your thing.
Besties for besties. Yeah. Anyways, your thoughts on being?
No, I mean the biggest, not really concerned. I think in my mind, I'm like, John's gonna be in high school and Dad will be in his 60s. And prior to Dad encroaching on the age, I thought 60 was a pretty old age to raise kids. But now I see Dad who's almost 60, and I'm like,
Dad was
he's so
very
young.
energy.
He's so young
Yeah.
still. So I'm like, it doesn't really matter.
He loves joking around, having a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
I think Mom and Dad both have very young energy.
Yeah.
Like, they have a lot of zest for life.
I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna be the same.
But-
I don't ever if I ever lose like my youthfulness and spirit,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm scared of the most with age is like I lose this drive. I have this like crazy drive that I wake up with every day. Like I need to like accomplish so much with my life. And
I'm
like,
excited about life too. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just like,
Rachel's like, oh, what's this like?
I'm just like, I need to do so many things, and there's not enough time in this life left, and I want to maintain that passion throughout the rest of my life. But I almost feel like I was talking to Dad about this, because Dad, I
Oh,
think
you know what? Dad had the same. Yeah.
he had the same energy. He's like, I want to do a lot of things, and he was telling me there comes a point when you mature enough and you realize that not all these things are possible. Like, you can't do everything in your life.
I still feel.
And
like
I hate I hate having to think about the
Yeah.
reality of like I can't become like
that is true.
every single thing that I want to become.
Yeah.
Because it's just not possible. We're humans, we're limited, and we
Yeah.
can only choose like a couple things to really
Yeah.
excel at and build our
Yeah.
careers off of. But he was saying that you can do a lot, but you have to, and in the future for us, it's like all about team building, like building teams and people around you that will help you accomplish your dream. And
So
being
it's
able
not
to
like
manage
your
that. It's
own-
not,
Yeah.
you can't,
volition.
the
Yeah.
realization is that you can't do it on your own.
Yeah.
You need people around you to help you get to there. So now
Yeah.
I think my goal now is to build around me a network of people who can help me achieve all of my dreams and all of their
Only
dreams
for me.
because the idea is that our dreams align, and
Yeah.
then the beauty in
Symbiotic.
that situation is that
Yeah.
everyone gets to accomplish each of their dreams. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I hate the idea of not being able to do everything I want to do.
Say I also recognize the male privilege of saying that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I was thinking about that.
Ha 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 ha.
Rachel, I think you can accomplish everything you want to accomplish.
Yes.
You just don't know what you want to accomplish.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah. I think I haven't found anything that I'm like super passionate.
compelled by.
Yeah. Like I have goals, but I don't know if they're like life purpose goals, you know? Like I haven't found anything that truly
Oh.
like
I don't
I don't know if I
fulfill.
found life
Purpose
purpose.
goals,
Yeah.
Oh, I think, but I feel like I like my little side quests too, but at the end of the day, like I do want, at least I want my work to be fulfilling. I think, I know I've talked to Andrew about this, where like there comes a point where, like you recognize that work isn't going to fulfill that necessarily, and that you have to reach out into like your hobbies and like things outside of work to like make you feel like fill up your glass, I suppose.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten there yet because I don't want to blame it on school, but like a lot of
No,
my time and
yeah.
energy just goes into school.
Yeah.
So I don't have
School
that
is the
much
time to do school.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like didn't pursue any hobbies when I was in school,
Yeah.
actually.
So
Yeah.
I'm just a little jaded right now. So I don't wake up with the same zest of like, let me go do everything. I wake
didn't-
up and I'm like, I'm going to do school.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that
Back
was
in
college.
school, that's
yeah.
also how I felt.
Yeah.
This is like a newfound, and also you have to be in a situation where you have enough room. And I think this is part of my privilege, is that I'm in a time and place right now in my life where
You had the resources.
I have the resources and also the mental capacity to pursue other
Yeah.
passions.
Yeah.
And that's part of the big reason why I am so glad I chose not only to go to the school I chose to go to, but also choosing the MD PhD route. It's because I knew there was a 4-year break where I would have the mental capacity to do more with my life than just medicine.
Wow.
But I don't know. I feel like during my first 2 years of med school, when you're supposed to be busy,
Dude, you still have so much time.
I
Yeah.
still had so much time. I don't
Every
know
time
why.
people
I
ask
spent
me-
more time cutting hair and taking photos during my first year of med school than I
Yeah.
did studying, which might have reflected a little bit in my grades, but like I still was fine.
Dude, there was a moment, because I remember it was right after Thanksgiving break. I went up to your apartment in Cleveland. I was working, you were in med school, and I was staffed on a ridiculous project. And I woke up at like 7, 8 a.m. and I was working until like 1, 2
Oh yeah, you were
a.m.
working so much harder than me.
And I was looking over at you just sleeping through your lectures, and I was just like, what the hell?
I thought med school was supposed to be hard.
I know. Dude, in that moment, honestly, that was a turning point for I need to get out of this job. I'm like, my life cannot be
Yeah.
exponentially more miserable than a first year med school student. There is a problem here.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was not a good time in my life.
Yeah. I don't
I had not
like,
spent
I've
nearly
always
enough
been
time
confused.
studying.
I've always been like, is Jesse just smart?
I don't think
or
so.
does he just not prioritize school?
I just don't think school is that important.
But I mean, that's
Yeah.
true. You still get good grades and
I
you
get
got into the
good
programs.
enough
Yeah.
grades.
Yeah.
but,
I mean,
like,
you're in an empty PhD program. Like,
I think for
Yeah.
me I don't get satisfaction out of studying. Like like I'm
That's
not
fair.
I don't feel
Yeah.
like I'm fulfilling anything. And
Yeah.
it's not like tickling the right part of my brain. I do it out of necessity.
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like my passion, like the first 2 years of med school is all learning from a book. So like it's not like true medicine at that
Right.
point.
Yeah.
You're like building a foundation so that you can thrive in the hospital. Now that I'm working more so in the hospital, I do feel like, oh, like this is something that I could see myself being more passionate about. It's like the actual patient care aspect of it. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's important to definitely fill your cup up in whatever ways that you can find, whether it be through your careers or through your alternate hobbies and
Yeah.
career paths. All right, let's wrap this up.
Good stuff.
Crazy. Are we
And
doing
then let's do
another
one more short episode.
one? Today?
Yeah, just a short one. This
Bruh.
episode was all over the place. Holy cow.
Yeah. Where did we
we
start?
went from
Relationship to children.
No, we went
Instagram DMs.
Wow.
No, we went from talking about community and church. Was that the same?
No, that was a
that
different
was episode 1
Yeah.
of today.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we went from
Oh,
DMs.
No, we went to
Brother.
DMs to children,
Yeah.
which is sort of on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's our relationship.
All relationship
Yeah.
stuff.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of the Rooftop Pod. I'm your host, Jesse, and I'm signing out with my sister
Rachel.
and my brother,
Andrew.
and we will catch you on the next episode of the Rooftop Pod.
See ya.
Peace.
What? See ya.
Peace.
Peace.